If you've ever been told or have told yourself that you're too sensitive, know that this is not inherently an insult. And no, you're not imagining your experience. What you're experiencing often has very little to do with being too sensitive as a personality trait, and more so, a lot to do with how your nervous system has learned to keep you safe. This learned response was an adaptation to protect you, to maintain connection. And so when somebody calls you too sensitive, really what that means is somebody who notices subtle shifts, the change of tone, shift in body language, an unspoken tension, an energetic shift, and under certain conditions, in particular environments, that responsiveness became essential for survival. It may still be essential for your emotional survival. Thus, your sensitivity is responsiveness, not a weakness. This heightened sensitivity often develops in homes where emotional safety is inconsistent, chaotic, it's unpredictable. Moods can change quickly. Approval is conditional. And this expectation that a child is so attuned with an adult really robs that child of the chance to develop their own connection to self. Instead, this connection to others and that sharpened focus on these subtle shifts really gets developed to such a high level. And in these types of environments, paying such close attention to your manipulative parent or other important adult in your life, it wasn't optional. It was essential for your survival. It was essential to protect yourself from the pain of that disconnect, the pain of that rejection. You adapted, you shifted, you protected. Your nervous system learned to scan, to anticipate, and to respond quickly in order to maintain some semblance of that connection. So this heightened sensitivity developed these patterns of that expectation that you as the child predict and anticipate the needs of the adult in the room. Those really sink in. And while as an adult, now you may be in a situation where you're physically and emotionally safe, and I do hope that for you, and even intellectually understanding in this moment as an adult that you are safe, your body may still react instinctively to closeness to another person with this heightened sense of vigilance, that scanning, that monitoring, that heightened sense of awareness. If you do have challenging relationships in your present adult life, it's difficult to connect with safety in your body. It's probably pretty exhausting. As an adult, this sensitivity can show up as overthinking, exhaustion, overwhelm, perhaps a deep sadness. You might find yourself really absorbing other people's emotions, having difficulty identifying your boundaries and implementing them, and maybe feeling guilty for needing some space, needing some autonomy. These are all very human needs. Culture and other factors are important, that this sense of autonomy does exist on a spectrum, which there's a lot of factors that go into it. But regardless of somebody's culture or background, to some extent, we all need some choice and autonomy in our lives. This level of sensitivity, it doesn't need to be eliminated. It doesn't need to be reduced. Perhaps there's a way that this heightened sensitivity can become your superpower. This heightened sensitivity calls for safety in your body, intentional boundaries, support, connecting with self, and caring for yourself. With these conditions present of safety and boundaries and care and support for this level of sensitivity, it can turn into insight, empathy, and relational intelligence rather than overwhelm. So, this journey of navigating this heightened level of sensitivity isn't about eliminating or reducing. It is about connecting with safety inside your body. And there are many ways to go about doing that. It is a very individual process, unique to each person. So we won't expand on that here, as it is just so unique to each person and their circumstances and their needs and their unique bodies and lots of other details. But acknowledging that this sensitivity can become a superpower and connecting with this belief that your heightened sensitivity isn't a flaw. It's not an insult. It's not something that needs correction. Empowering yourself to know that there's nothing wrong with you and there's hope that you can find safety in your body to create some structure and some boundaries and care for this deep level of sensitivity so that it can become a superpower. Knowing that many adult daughters of emotionally manipulative or inconsistent parents often carry this level of sensitivity quietly by themselves in isolation for years. If that's your story, you're not alone. Unfortunately, this phrase, "you're too sensitive," is often used in a manner to shame or as a type of insult, as a way to tear you down. It is a strength. And with some intention, perhaps lots of intention, it's not an easy journey, but it's so valuable to turn this overwhelm, this guilt, and the heaviness of being so in tune with other people's emotions, being so aware of all these shifts in the room and energies and all of that, that it can be turned into something empowering and beautiful. I hope that this helped to create some clarity and some understanding, and also to send the message that you are on your own path, your own journey. There is no rush to jump into action or feel pressured to do so. Simply soaking this in and letting it land is enough. You are enough, as you are, wherever you're at in your process. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your energy. And until next time, take good care of yourself. You're so worth it.